Hurricane Gilbert, Cancun, Mexico, 1988.
Aerial view of the hurricane. That's a fishing boat from Cuba that came right up on shore. This is a tourist getting back his belongings. This is a map of the path that Gilbert took.
Hi, it's me, Sofie, and I will be interviewing my Aunt Betty for my weather project, and she will be answering the questions about Hurricane Gilbert. Okay, so those are the pictures and stuff. What time did it happen?
Well, it was September 1988, and the actual hurricane came about midnight. It came in the middle of the night, but we seemed to be waiting for it all day long.
Okay. What was the temperature like? Was it warm, cold, windy?
It was warm, and it was extremely windy. And as the day progressed, it got even windier. And the temperature was still very, very warm, though.
Okay, so kind of like a desert.
Not a desert, but a warm day.
What did the sky look like?
The sky looked very different. You could tell something was up. There was sort of a greenish tint to the sky. The clouds were moving very rapidly. It was definitely, you could tell something was brewing.
Okay. How did you feel?
How did I feel? At first I felt really excited when we realized a hurricane was coming. We realized when we went to the grocery store and all of the local people were buying up all these bags of beans and rice and like, what the heck's going on? And then we heard everywhere you went there was sort of the radio playing, and the people of Cancun, you hear "Atención, atención," and everyone would stop and shake their head and be like, "Oh." So then we found out the hurricane was coming, and we were a little bit excited. We thought it was going to be fun or something.
That's how I felt when I heard a tornado.
Yeah.
Were you scared?
Then as it got closer and closer, and when the Mexican police evacuated us from our hotel to an inland building, then we got really, really scared.
Okay, that must be really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Were you alone?
I wasn't. I was with my husband. And we were evacuated inland with about 50 other people who were really strangers, and we were in this tiny little building inland from Cancun, and we were just sent with one crate of sandwiches from the hotel, and some people from another country, I think they were French, they stole the basket of food and locked themselves in a cage and wouldn't let any of us have any food except for them. That was a little strange, but the rest of the people were really pretty nice, and everyone was helpful to each other.
Okay, did you know anyone who could have almost drowned?
I didn't know anyone who drowned, but I know that there were a lot of deaths associated with Hurricane Gilbert, and I don't know what the number is, but I know that 60,000 people were left homeless from that.
How old were you? You don't have to answer this question.
I was about 28, I think.
Okay, kind of young.
Kind of young.
Naturally. Now, I have a few more questions.
Okay. Can I tell you the scariest parts? At one point, when we were in this little building, the wind was blowing the roof off the actual structure we were in. And the metal roof would flop on and flop back off and on. And then some man came and got our group and brought us out in the middle of the hurricane. We had to walk to another building. And as we were walking, the rain and the water and the wind was so, hard against us that it really, really hurt to be out there, but it was a good thing we did go out there, because right as the last person got out of that building collapsed that we were in. So we went into another building where there were already 50 people. So now we were really squashed in the building, and yeah, we pretty much had to stand for the rest of the night and kind of lean on some counters and It was very, very squished, but at least that building was a lot more stable.
Was there any food there?
There was no food, and you actually had to go to the bathroom. Someone would hold a sheet up, and someone had a pie plate, and that's how people went to the bathroom.
Okay.
And you had to hope that the person who was a stranger behind you would hold that sheet up while you were going. That was kind of scary.
Okay, that's the person that I remember. But at least I know now.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever go back to Mexico?
Sure, I'll be intrigued to go back and see how it's built up again, and I sort of have a connection now, I think, because I'll never go in September during hurricane season to save a few dollars, that's for sure. Yeah. Sure.
Like, what were the expressions on people's faces?
You know what, at one point, you talked about, you did your last report on the eye of the storm. It was interesting because when the eye of the storm came, it was very quiet, but it was, as far as the weather, but it was also quiet for us too because we knew we had to get through the other side of the storm. Although it was a relief from all the rain, we knew that the same storm was coming once again. And everyone was so quiet, I think everyone was praying. I mean, you could hear a pin drop.
Wow.
So that was kind of weird.
Hurricane Gilbert, Cancun, Mexico, 1988.